welcome back to the plot. You are precariously balanced on some racking because I have forgotten my tripod. I thought it was here. It's not. So not a lot of action shots for you today. However, welcome. Neither of us have been at the plot much in the last few months. Sorry about that. I do feel a little bit ashamed to say that I've not been here much over the autumn. And it's been a slow start to the new year. Here in West Yorkshire we had snow that then froze and stuck around for a week. The kids' start back at school after the new year was delayed. The school was closed for a few days, and then it was late starts, and then I've had kids poorly off sick, and it's taken me almost 2 weeks to get here after the start of the new term. But I'm here now, and I'm going to show you around, but I've got a job that needs to be done today, and I've got some plans for the new growing season, and I am very excited to tell you about it. So let's get going. So, there's not really much to show you on the plot today. Strawberries still haven't had the runners taken up. The runners have really taken hold now, so I'll be sorting those out at some point. Beds are a little bit weedy now. We would have had some sprouts though. Look at this. You see those sprouts? Still could take some of those, but they've been pretty much pecked apart by the pigeons. I was almost going to say penguins then, but we definitely don't have any penguins on the plot. Yep, squash beds. Obviously everything's dead. Whoops, left my new wheelbarrow out over the winter. Oh, gardening gloves. We always lose them in amongst the plants. And then there's the beds that we sorted out last time that obviously are weedy. But look at the garlic growing there. I knew I found loads of garlic in it, but I've obviously missed quite a lot. There's some daffodils there as well. Missed quite a lot of the garlic, and some obviously I've just left on the top. Why is it when I plant it, it doesn't grow? But when I scatter last year's on top like that, you get a good crop. So, that's what it looks like at the moment. And this is the polytunnel, which just needs a really good weed and these canes taken out. And then we're going to start getting some things sown in here. Now, if this isn't your first time here, you will have heard me talk about plans for this plot and having raised beds. And if you were with me in one of my last videos, you will have seen that I put one of the raised beds in place. Now, things have changed. The brassica cage is rotten at the bottom, so it's going to come down, and we're going to reuse the timber as much as we can do and save what we can for future projects. So that means I'm not going to have a brassica cage. The brassica cage was going to become a soft fruit cage, but now it's not going to be that either because it's going to be taken down. So my plan was to get the large raised beds that we put in last time, the one that I put down. I had another 3 of those. And my plan was to get another 8 and have the large area, have those in the large area as well, because those beds are rotten as well. However, they went out of stock, and so we were looking at alternatives, and I found some on eBay, some smaller ones that are similar size to the ones that have the strawberries in. Same size, just shorter. And so I bought 8 of those. Now, while I was waiting for those to be delivered, I got an email to tell me the original ones, the larger ones, had come back into stock, very annoyingly. So I ended up buying some of those larger ones. But because I'd bought the smaller ones, I didn't need as many. So the amount of money that I'd got budgeted was very similar to the cost anyway. I think it was about £20 more the way I've done it now. So I'll go show you what we're going to put where and how we think it's going to work. The work for this is going to start this weekend. I'm hoping, if all goes to plan, that Mark is going to come down on Sunday. I'm going to come with him for a couple of hours, and he's going to start to clear the paths between the beds and then take the beds up. Sort the timber out, sort the rotten stuff from the salvageable stuff, and then I'm going to be able to start getting the raised beds built up and get them into place. But let's go have a look and I'll show you where we're going to be putting them. So this is the raised bed that I built in the autumn, and this was going to stay here. However, this is the 6 foot by 3 foot one. It's quite a large bed. Looks like somebody's been bashing it there. And this is going to come up and we're going to have 9 of these because I've got 9 of them now, and they are going to replace these long beds here. So we're going to have 5 rows, and then we're going to have a gap by the shed there where that bramble is, and I'm going to have a little seating area, and that's just going to mean I'm going to be able to maintain that bramble better because it's sort of growing from under the shed, and it's awkward to get to sometimes when things are growing up. So I'm going to make that space clear, put table and chairs there, so I'm going to be able to access that. So that means that we'll have 9 of these 6 foot by 3 foot raised beds in this area, and then along the wall I'm going to have a border, which we're going to hope that we're going to be able to salvage enough of this timber to create a little raised border that will follow along, clear this area here between the 2 beds, and follow along with this one. And then I'm going to, I do have some perennials in here, but I'm going to take those out and put them somewhere else, and have my fruit growing along this wall. It's an east-facing wall, but it's a south-facing plot, so hopefully things will do okay there. So, this area then, where we were going to have the 3 large beds, I'm now going to have 4 smaller ones. And the brassica cage, because it's now rotten and needs to come down, actually there's a lot of timber there we could use to make the raised border, couldn't we? Yeah. So the brassica cage will come down, and I'm going to put 4 of those beds here as well. It's a larger area than I was thinking when I was creating this plan, so we may end up changing that and adding more beds in, not sure. But the smaller raised beds are the same size, well, length and width. They're 4 foot by 2 foot, which is the same size as these beds with the strawberries in, and the herbs, but they're not as high, so they're a bit lower. So yeah, so that's what we're going to have here. So the plan is to firstly get up the weed membrane that's between these paths, pull these flags up. So this area is basically going to be levelled, and then we're going to put the raised beds in and start filling those up with what's left. A couple of the raised beds I am going to leave empty and just put compost in, because they're going to be for brassicas and things like radish, because I can't really grow radish very well on this plot because of the club root. But with if I fill them entirely with compost, it might give me a year that I can actually grow radishes. So yeah, that's the plan. And look at all the mushrooms, got all the fungus growing on the wood chip here. Tons of it. Strawberries and mushrooms, anyone? Obviously not edible. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that pallet collar bed there, because yeah, I might end up with something a bit different. I might actually pick up, if I get the opportunity to pick up another one like this, I might actually put another one there, just so that it all works. Another thing is the fence that I've been talking about for a long time, that is actually going to be going in soon. I just need to fill in the plans and get that to the secretary to have it approved. Obviously, it's subject to approval, but yeah, I need a fence to keep my kids in. If you are new here, my youngest daughter is autistic, non-verbal, and I would very much like to be able to bring her to the plot, but at the moment, as it is, I can't, and I think that including kids in your allotment is a really great thing to do. So that's our boundary line there, just before the rhubarb. Looking good, that rhubarb. She always has a good crop, does my neighbour. So yeah, the fence is going to go along that concrete boundary line there. It's just going to be a 3-foot picket fence, and then the plan is just there next to the polytunnel, where the path goes to the grass there. We're going to have an arch and a gate there, and then at the other side of the polytunnel, at the other end up here, we have another entrance which will have another gate, maybe with an arch, we'll see. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do this year that we didn't get done last year. I need to do my gutters, clean my gutters out of my shed, and that brings me on to actually the job for today, which is to tidy this. So got a skip coming this weekend home, so I need to clear out as much rubbish as I can. Anything I don't want to keep, I need to sort out, so that Mark can then come and pick it up and take it to the tip. Look, last year's gooseberries, Yeah. There is a clip actually from one of my videos from last year where I get bird poo on my hand and I go, oh, bird poo. And my daughter watches that on repeat because she finds it hilarious. Whew. My hands got freezing just carrying the camera around, so I'm going to have a bit of coffee, tie this whole mop up so it doesn't get in my way, and I'm going to get to cleaning. I've lost all my gardening gloves, which I've now found them all over the plot. So I've got my normal woolly gloves. Get some work done because I really want this greenhouse to be kind of like a cosy little place. You know, it's got a wood burner over there which you can't see for the mess in front of it, and it's just such a great, useful space. I've even got my own tap in here with running water. You know, I don't want to not make the most of this for another year. So, yeah. So there's a lot to do, but we'll get through it. And there we go. I've even cleaned up my chairs because they had bird poo on them. So they didn't get sat on. I haven't done anything with the shelves because they need organising, but they're not too bad. But yeah, that's all cleaned. All the compost's been put under there. That's all been swept off. Obviously, it still needs cleaning. We're going to flag under there. Mark did it, and then we needed the flags elsewhere, so he undid it. So we're going to put flagstones under there. We're supposed to keep the wheelbarrow. However, the wheelbarrow was left out and is full of water and weeds. So, yeah. So there we go. It looks a lot better. And if we turn around, you can see here is all clear. I would really like, because there's the tap there, I'd like to ideally have that table there under there with a washing up bowl on it, just to kind of have a little utility area there. And then you can see the fire, the wood burner, although the council have changed the rules, so we can't use it until November. I've never used it actually. My dad used to use it a lot. It was a retirement gift from work. Some of the lads he worked with made it for him, which I think is really nice. It's very rusty now, obviously, but yes. These drawers need to be addressed and sorted out. We've had a bit of a leak there, so that's looking a bit worse for wear there. We've still got nettles and stuff and brambles trying to make their way in and bindweed, but you know, oh look. We weren't getting a lot done today anyway. Wasn't planning to take over the world today. So now that's ready for Mark to come up at the weekend and gather all the rubbish together, which I've popped in the polytunnel. Some of it's rubbish, some of it's stuff we're going to be giving to other people. There's some pots as well that I've sorted out. A lot of the pots were brittle and broke, so they've gone to be binned. I've picked up some of the rubbish that was in here. I still need to gather up the plant labels and things and just put those in a bin. Yeah, happy with how it is. One of the next tasks for me will be to weed this polytunnel and mulch it and get it nice, ready for the spring. Hi, it's Sunday and I've just arrived at the plot. Mark's been here a couple of hours already and the brassica cage is no more. Let's go have a look. There you go, and there he is. So, he's just been cursing my dad. So if you watch this, Dad, this is a testament to your engineering ability because that was hard to take down. The bottom bit was very rotten, but the top bits were really, really solid. And he's now probably going to curse you some more because he's taking apart the beds that you put together really well. So there you go. So, thinking again, I think this area is too big for the small beds. I think 4 small beds in here would be a waste of space. So we need to think about something else. Now, there's a lot of soil in here, so I think the sides would need to be bigger. Mark thinks the sides would need to be bigger, and there's not enough timber that we've salvaged. And we don't want to buy timber ideally, so we're going to have a rethink on what we do here and whether we put big beds here or not, like that one over there. So we might be able to get 4 of those on here. Well, we would, and that might work well. So it's cold. I haven't got any gloves with me, so it looks like I'm a spectator today. Say hi. Today. He's so cheeky. He's so cheeky. So yeah, it's going all right though. So while Mark gets on with destroying the place, I thought I'd talk about why I haven't been here over the last couple of months. And there's a few reasons, really. And the first reason, the main reason, is that every autumn, I've said this before, I get a little bit sort of burnout from gardening, and I need a bit of a break from it. And that's lasted longer this year. And I think that that's mainly because the season was so pants last year. Things just didn't go well. I wasted a lot of time, energy, and money trying to grow things that just didn't grow. Can you destroy the plot silently, please? The other thing is that we knew we'd be changing the layout. We knew we'd be getting these raised beds, and then they went out of stock. And I just kind of, I don't know, I had this kind of block where I couldn't plant anything because I was going to be removing that bed and didn't know where to put anything because things were going to change. And I don't know, my brain, if I'm not organised, I can't function. And this was not organised and how I wanted it. So that's the thing with changing the layout, is that once this is done, everything's going to be as it is. And with the beds being galvanised metal, hopefully they're going to last a long time. So yeah, and one of the things that's helped me a lot that I want to talk about is other people's garden videos. I don't watch regular television. I watch YouTube a lot, and there are a few channels out there that I really, really like, and I stopped watching them when this kind of block was happening. And I started again over Christmas and the New Year, and I am really grateful. So what I'm asking is, I want you to let me know what your favourite channels are down in the comments. And if you have a channel, feel free to mention it down in the comments as well. I know it's not necessarily polite to go around other people's channels going, I've got a channel, but on this occasion, it's absolutely fine. I have quite a few favourite channels that I will link down below, but people like Danny at Grow Up Channel, he's a great one, and I was really enjoying his videos the other day. And Kerry at Dog on the Plot, seeing her change her switch plots and all the work that's gone into that, that's been really, really interesting. I watch a lot of Jessie at Plot 37, Tony C. Smith, I watch Sean James Cameron, I love Linda at the Feel Good Garden, Ali at My Rusty Garden. So many different people. Let me try and think. JB, watch JB. And yeah, so many channels that I absolutely love. And Bethan, I've been watching Bethan at Bethan's Kitchen Garden, and Steve at Steve's Seaside Kitchen Garden. I will link all these channels. These are people that I've been binge watching over the last few months and really, really getting a lot of inspiration from. Last few weeks, sorry. And it's really helped me get motivated and feel like I want to be here and I want to be on this plot. There was never any doubt in my mind that I would get the motivation back and I would come back. It's just things got a little overwhelming for a while, and making videos, I just couldn't do it. So yeah, but I am here now, and I'm going to try and upload with more regularity, and I'm going to try and upload more interesting content as well, and me actually doing a little bit of the work now and again. But he's particularly good at this kind of stuff, and he really enjoys destroying things. This is how a mechanic destroys something an engineer's made. Right, I think that's it for today. He's left this one for now because the timber on this one seems reasonable, like we could reuse it. So he's going to come back with some tools to take it apart properly without having it use brute force. So yeah, so next on the agenda is to get the paths up and then get it weeded. And then, well, I think all of these areas need weeding, sorting out, I'll get that bed out of there, and then we will start to mess around with the layout and see how we want to have it, and then we'll start doing it, filling it and getting the cardboard down on the paths. And then yeah, we need to renew this wood chip as well, and obviously, like I showed you the other day, it's covered in fungus, which is fine. It's going to happen when you've got wood chip. So yeah, very happy. You've done a good job, haven't you? I was going to weed that, but I can't reach it, so I haven't weeded it. One last job. It's got quite a root system. There you go. Well done. Okay, thanks for watching. Thanks for being with us. We'll be back next week. It's my birthday next Sunday, so we're planning to spend some time up here on the Saturday. Hopefully we'll be able to get the paths done, and I'll come prepared with gloves next time so I can actually be of some use. And so yeah, so thanks for watching. Please say hi in the comments. As I said, leave me your favourite YouTubers down below in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.